And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Chill Conversations. Hey, Brenna.
Hey, Dominique. Happy Sunday. Hey, everybody.
Happy Sunday. Thank you for joining us today. So today we are talking about MK Ultra, mind control. Um, we're just gonna scratch the surface a little bit,
Yeah,
because this is a big rabbit hole.
it really is.
Um, no sense to get into it today all the way. But yes, so I just want to make some quick disclaimers before we start.
Okay.
Um, watch at your own risk,
Yes.
discretion. This is our opinions about the whole subject. Well, the topic today, mixed in with our own research. So I just want to let everybody know that.
All righty.
And we're going to get into a little bit of history of MK Ultra. This is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a minute. I did say I'm gonna get back to the things, the topics that we usually do research and we
Yeah,
want to talk about and
the
stuff.
deep dives. Yeah, the deep
Right.
dives.
Not so much about the news.
Yeah.
But I did want to get into this today, and I do want to start by my little research that I did. MK Ultra was a government program in 1952. Um, it was a way to brainwash people's minds kind of program, and the CIA wanted to control humans without their knowledge. Um, Based on this project, which was something that the CIA wanted to do, so they contacted a man um, to help them with that in that time. MK Ultra was ran by the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. It was a way to try to figure out, um, can we control a person's behavior through their mind
Absolutely.
without their knowledge, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe MK Ultra still exists today?
I do. I do. I know you did your research. I certainly did my research. Yes, as you stated, it's a project that began years ago, and it was actually up and running and live for over 20 years before the CIA decided to table the project. But that leaves room to speculation as to whether or not it was tabled, quote unquote, or was it just put under another project term and continuation of what they've already established because they were looking into using different manners of control, including certain psychedelic drugs, certain behavior mechanisms, certain hypnosis terms, and things like that.
Exactly. And the hypnosis, the hypno program, Assassins, was the purpose of it.
Yes.
So the objective was to get people to go unalive others on command through drugs and hypnotism and have no memory of it.
Right.
Um, it was also able to erase things out of your memory. Get so basically they made this program because they wanted to figure out how to win, how to do something that nobody was doing. So it was basically mostly for to get assassins to do stuff to unalive others and then not have any recollection of it. That's a
Correct.
very scary thing.
That's very scary. It's frighteningly scary to know that there is the potential for your mind to be directed to conduct an action
Mhm.
such as unaliving someone, and then
Right.
you have absolutely no recollection of it. But I believe that their decision to incorporate the no recollection of it is to keep that person from having any feelings of guilt. Because if you had a recollection of you committing such an act, wouldn't you feel guilty? Wouldn't you feel remorseful? And like, why did you do that? Why did I do that? You'd have questions.
I have questions of things that happen in today's time, and I don't want to really go into this, but I'm a little scratched the little surface a little bit. Like they said that they ran these programs in people that were in jail, I mean prison,
Yes.
or these experiments on people that had like uh mind deficiency, like they were not, something was wrong with them mentally.
Yes.
Um
They also conducted these experiments in like psychiatric hospitals. So I think that's kind of like along the lines of what you're saying, people that had some kind of mental deficiencies or defects, they conducted these experiments on these people as well.
right. The CIA admitted to this. They were also able to run experiments on people that were hospital patients. Um, they stated, now I did do a little bit of research on this. They also stated that they gather like hippies, graduates, students to do studies on them as well.
Yeah.
So they were like the face of it, and they would bring like other hippies into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine doing these experiments and you don't have any knowledge on what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's just absolutely wild. And just reading the information, like doing the research part of this process for this topic was so eye-opening and mind-blowing. If you guys haven't, you know, heard about this or really looked into it, I suggest that you certainly do so. I mean, at your own interest, of course. If you're interested in it, then certainly the information is out there for you to learn more. But it is very interesting that something like this was even allowed to go on for as long as it was on record for
Because it was
occurring.
supposed to be a secret.
It was, yes.
It was
Yes.
supposed to be a government secret until it was leaked.
Yes.
Mm, there were we I also learned there were so many projects like under MK Ultra, like um chemical substance use,
Yes.
drugs, behavior issues. They said even creating false memories and
Yes.
deleting them.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm, interesting.
Yeah,
Whew.
I think they called that psychic driving, was planting the false memories and false recollections. I mean, that's just so wild to me. Like I can't imagine someone, it's like someone having a remote control button or an app to just direct you to do whatever from their phone. Or you hear a certain ringtone or a bell or a chime or a word, or someone gives you a pill or a stick or something, and then all of a sudden you're committing these behaviors and these acts that you just don't know. I mean, you see it go on in the spy movies, Mission Impossible and James Bond and all that stuff, but to know that
Right.
this is something that really like was in place and was an active experiment that was going on in our country for over 20 something years.
And
And
I
I think
do believe people should look into more into MK Ultra, just because I know some people say, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory, but no, it's not so much of a theory, because the CIA did have to come out and speak about it.
yeah, they
So
had to
they
acknowledge it.
actually, they had to actually tell you all what was going on. Um, the documents were released. Um, And even if you read about it, yes, there are some conspiracy theories surrounding it. Like, and I'm starting to say I'm gonna say conspiracy theory because we don't know for sure because I never been in Hollywood or the industry itself. But they say that till this day they use MK Ultra to control people.
Yes, I'm sure that you've heard that certain celebrities and certain stars are quote unquote not themselves. It's their clones or their representatives showing up in place for them. That's been wildly speculated and allegedly stated a lot of times in the blogs over the last couple of years that's been going on. But yeah, I mean, it really is. It's crazy, and it's people really think that it's running rampant, and it's really going on because of all the work and all the efforts that it would take to get yourself to stardom and all the money that goes into creating a brand for this specific star, the hours of training and this and that and all these other things. And so they feel like they can only have these people be successful if they're able to control their every thought and have them be conditioned, in order to be successful. So,
Absolutely. So I
mhm.
believe, I've heard a lot of celebrities talk about MK Ultra, and how they're being controlled in the industry. So allegedly, I wouldn't put it to the side because it may really be happening. Very well. I mean, this, as stated, it was not for, they say it was for the greater good, but I didn't really see no good in it. I actually saw it like a very scary experiment, to try to accomplish something just to win a war, you know. Um,
Absolutely.
so that's very scary. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if people really misused it and abused it, throughout the years in other experiments with other people. Um, some victims lost their lives behind this science. The reality of MK Ultra, in my opinion, is if they could control minds and behavior, that's a very powerful weapon,
Yes.
in a great scale, not just in a certain scale of whatever it is the program that you're trying to run for specific purpose. That is a bioweapon for humanity,
Yes.
to me, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
It is.
Um, there were so many scientists working on MK Ultra. I thought I had, um, some info on it, so I'm just giving y'all little piece by piece. But now, compared to what I have learned, before doing this podcast on it, it definitely, I still can't believe that this project, like, it was horrific.
It was horrible. I mean, just to give you some kind of examples, they talk about different kinds of people that they would do these experiments on, and they would, the hope was to turn them into quote unquote robot agents that would be triggered by keywords. And they would conduct these experiments on mental health patients, prisoners, drug addicts, and sex workers, people
And
that could
Brenna,
not.
they were putting drugs together to
Yes.
destroy the human mind.
Yes, yes. So all those psychedelics and the mushrooms and the LSD and the barbiturates and all those drugs that were hippie like in the 60s and the 70s. A lot of them are derivatives of some of these experimental drugs that were used under this MK Ultra project, because remember, it was fully underway still. It started in 1953, and then it officially, I think, was closed in 1973 or 74, something like that, but it was 20 something years that the project was up and running under the CIA before they shut it down,
And
allegedly shut
can
it
we
down.
say this is not only mind control, but this is like ripping souls out of people?
I think so.
Hmm.
I think so.
Whew. So in 1953, Sydney, LSD was bought for people in prisons for experiments. Godley, I believe that's his name, sent LSD to different facilities to perform the experiments on real people. LSD leaked out to the general. Do you think LSD leaked out to the general population?
Yeah, because people were using it. They were using it for its trippy effects and for the dreamlike state and trance-like state it would put you in. A lot of people that were creatives, a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, and people that were known to be suffering from certain mental illnesses like bipolar disorder found that drug to be recreationally useful to them, and they enjoyed using it. So, I
I wouldn't
mean,
be surprised, I tell you that.
yeah,
But Godley did stated that his favorite humans to conduct these experiments on were prisoners. They were giving LSD for 77 days to
goodness gracious.
destroy a human mind.
Right, to drive them totally mad.
Triple doses. Ooh,
That's intentionally trying to literally drive someone out of their mind. That's literally destroying someone's mind. I mean, you can destroy a mind with 2 weeks of sleep deprivation. You can destroy a
exactly.
mind with, with 2 weeks of straight on, binge drinking or drug using. I mean, lack of sleep after 3 days is equivalent to driving drunk during the day. So, yeah, I mean, this is some powerful stuff, and these drugs that they were out here playing around with are no joke. When you see people have incidents with LSD and PCP, those are some wild drugs. And where do you think they came from?
And people who were expendables, he said, like people who nobody will miss if they die, if they were unalived. They could,
The drug addicts and
yeah,
sex workers. Yeah,
yeah, they conducted these experiments on the victims who died, even like during this experiment phase when they was doing this. The victims who died were, they said they were buried under shopping malls. So
oh my
like they just
goodness.
build like shopping malls on top of, yeah, these people.
Mm,
Um yeah, at the end of the program, Sydney Godley was forced to conclude that mind control doesn't exist and it was made up after so many people died because they ran the program to these experiments on people.
yeah,
So he was forced to come out and say this.
which was not the truth.
Exactly.
Which was not the truth at all.
So, drugs, hypnosis, electric shocks, all of this was used to achieve mind control. The CIA set up different programs to collect funds to use the money to fund the mind control program. Now, I question people that come up missing and are never found today.
Yeah.
I question that a lot.
Where do you think they go?
Um, I think they're taken,
Mm-hmm.
allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. Allegedly.
And today's world that we live in today, I feel like it's more the new MK Ultra style program. It's just my opinion, BKA brainwashing,
Yes.
because there is a lot of that going on. So I just feel like that is a new style to the public. Um, Looking at today's events, I really wonder if, when they say, oh, that person is not woke, or they're still under programming, because even just watching TV or just the internet, and how
Right.
we look on the internet, we do research, but don't get it twisted. Like sometimes we see things on the internet, we be like seriously.
Right.
So some of this stuff is used to program our minds. I believe so. And they
Yeah.
just have a new good way to do it.
I think so as well. I mean, although they said that the MK Ultra program was officially a failure for the CIA was embarrassed by its lack of concrete findings. And okay, so they did shut it down in 1973. But
Supposedly.
supposedly, allegedly, the fact that we're still talking about it, though, is a suggestion that the reason why we're still talking about aliens and UFOs, like the conspiracies about that as well. I mean, is it real or is it not real? Does it exist or does it not exist? I mean, here we have a quote unquote concrete on paper mind control program
It's
run
I'm
by
not
the
gonna say it's no
CIA.
true. I'm not gonna say it's no truth to it, because my thing is, if a lot of people is talking about it, something in there has to be true.
Where there's smoke,
And
there's fire.
like I said, a lot of celebrities have come out and spoken about MK Ultra and how some of them were suffering and some of them were under control, and they use, like I said, in today's world is a lot of different things that you're able to use, because all these drugs have come into different things now. So I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. But again, that rabbit hole goes real deep. So we're gonna end it here. Thank you for joining us today. You have
Yes.
any final thoughts?
Just keep your minds open and stay real with us. We are so curious to know what you'd like to talk about. Share your thoughts and your comments with us in the group chat on the Facebook page. Our Instagram page is Real Chill Conversations. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah, always do your research, is what I say. And where there's smoke, there's fire.
All right, you guys. Well, y'all have a great day, and we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.